Hey, what's up everyone? I am back with episode 8 of the 1951 GMC Stances Everything Project Y Weight project, and this week I'm going to get into a little bit of my wheel problem and why I have 3 wheels for a truck that doesn't even run. First set of the wheels and tires I'm going to talk about are the ones that you've probably seen on the truck the most. These are my rollers. I don't know who made them and I don't particularly care. All they need to do is be round, hold air, and not look absolutely terrible. When I first got the chassis, it did come on Corvette rally wheels. I would have loved to keep those for rollers, but unfortunately they were never mine, they were Jeff's, and he ended up selling them to Pat Cheatley, Chi Hot Rods, who ended up selling them to a customer. So when I needed some rollers for the truck, I looked on Kijiji for something that didn't look absolutely terrible, because I'm a little bit of a style guy after all. Originally the guy bought them for a Mustang, and they didn't fit, surprise surprise, because they're Chevy S10 bolt pattern. So I grabbed them off of him, and I've been rolling around on them ever since. One thing I absolutely didn't expect from these wheels was the amount of people that actually like them. I guess it's because they've got a little bit of a dish, they clean up really well, and I tossed the ugly center cap right away. I'm really not going to drive around on these wheels and tires too much. I might use them to test the throttle pedal out once it comes back from IssyFab and just make sure everything works. Really, these were just test fit wheels, roll it around the garage, and just get the truck on the ground. The next set of wheels and tires I have for the truck are the classic Astro Supreme wheels with thin whites. Now I have to be honest with you guys, these are actually unique Supremes, they're not OG Supremes. I would have loved to find Astros, but I couldn't, they're hard to find. I'm still sort of looking for them, but these really look the part, so I'm not too fussed about it. Real wheel guys, you can jump on me in the comments. For those of you who don't know, the Astro Supreme is a really common wheel among customs. It's kind of like a classic look and feel, and I feel like it's really going to look good on my truck, especially with the flaked white roof. This particular set of Astro Supremes, this pair, I have 2 like this, are reverse style, so they have more dish than the standard style. They're not particularly wide, as you can see, they're actually pretty narrow. It's just a super low offset, and that kind of is what gives you the dish here. I think these are going to look pretty sick. They are what the truck is going to be on when it goes to IssyFab. I just really want to see what they look like, and I think that when it comes back from paint, seeing it on these wheels is going to be a ton of motivation. As sick as these wheels and tires are, I'm actually not going to be debuting the truck on them. These tires are super old. I think the DOT is somewhere in the 2000s. They're basically hockey pucks, but I have my Astro Supremes for now, and we'll see when they make it on the truck. Okay, so if the Astros aren't going on the truck and those 5 spokes aren't going on the truck when it rolls out, you're probably wondering what is. And what's going to be going on the truck are these Detroit steel wheel ambassador wheels. Some of you might also know them as artillery wheels. I've been working with the people at Mob Steel for a long time now. Adam, Steve, Emma, they're all really, really cool. You know, I've broken bread with them in Detroit, Toronto, Vegas. We have a good working relationship. I've shot a lot of cars on their wheels, and it's really awesome to have them hop on board the project. I ended up getting 18-inch 8 in the front and 9 in the rear wheels at 4 and 4.5 inch back spacing. I worked back and forth with them to kind of find the sizing that should fit under my truck and have a little bit of dish, because you know I do come from a background of sort of aggressive fitment and stuff like that, and I'm really stoked to put these wheels on the truck. They are raw still right now. I haven't figured out what color I want to powder coat them. I'm kind of leaning towards white, but I'm also kind of leaning towards blue. When Chris did the render for me, they were actually blue centers on the steelies with the dog dishes and the trim wings. I'm torn on what I'm going to do. I'm totally not going to say that I'm not going to do one side one color and one side the other, but I'm going to figure that out. I might end up actually doing it once the truck comes back from paint. Maybe it'll make a little bit more sense for me then. But if you guys have an opinion on that, feel free to let me know in the comments. So the tires that are going to wrap around those Detroit steel wheels are Diamondback classic white wall tires. What Diamondback does is they put white walls on modern radial rubber. I know some hot rod guys are screaming at me about that, but this is going to look really good, and it's going to give me the safety and performance of a modern tire with that classic look. It should provide a good feel rolling down the road. I should be able to cruise the highway, rip around, no problem. I will give you guys the specs of the rubber in a later post on stanceseverything.com once I get into fitting the wheels and stuff like that. I don't want to give the specs of the rubber right now, not because I'm trying to be secretive, but I don't want to give anyone any advice that might not work, because I kind of measured it out all myself, and fingers crossed it's right, but if it isn't, I don't want anyone copying me and then blaming me later for giving me bad advice. These wheels and tire setup that I have, they're moderately priced, especially when you compare it to some of the other options you can do for these trucks. but I don't want to send anyone astray with some bad advice. So now that I've shown you guys the wheels and tires and everything that's going to go on the truck, it's time for me to get back to working on it so it can get over to Jeff and I can actually use these sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will catch you in the next one. I'm going to try and keep the pace of these going every Sunday for as long as I can until the truck visits Jeff, and then I'll pause probably for a little bit of retooling and then come right back after you with some more video content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later.